Welcome to yet another episode of the Inflection Podcast. Today I have here with me Shawn Bork. Shawn has been in the fitness and meal prep space for over 10 years. He started as a trainer and today he runs his own meal prep company. One of the beautiful things about Shawn is his mission to provide a healthy and sustainable lifestyle for others through fitness and nutritional guidance. Without further ado, let's get into it. Super exciting to connect with you and get things going here, Shawn.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man. Good to see you.
Yeah, it's always freaking awesome. We met, a couple of years ago now?
Yeah, it's been a few years, but yeah, we're still in contact. So that's what matters the most.
We met, let me see, through, you were my trainer, my gym trainer.
Yeah, so I was training EOS Fitness in Arizona. Yeah. So.
Yeah, dang. I'm not just saying this, but you're one of the best trainers I've had. I had a few trainers and man, I just, we hit it off, learning more about your
Yeah,
drive,
it was easy to connect. So
yeah, the main intent of this conversation, I know we were talking about it, I was just like, wow, we need to record this. We talked about this a while ago, but recently you went to Peru. We'll dive into that. But yeah, real quick though, let's dive into your experience being a trainer. I like peeling back the why behind why people got into stuff. And I think your story is very intriguing. So just real quick, how did Shawn get into personal training, get into the fitness industry?
Yeah. So if it goes all the way back to like high school days, to be honest, I played football for 6 years. I wasn't the most athletic kid, but it really taught me that you can push your body to a certain limit, but also to make sure it feels good. So when I got into moving out to Arizona, I actually kind of developed this passion for working with human bodies and being able to just make sure that I can take care of them on a strength level, as well as making sure that they feel good in general after working out, or that the whole routine is much better. So I developed going after a NASM certified personal training certification. So that way I could just make sure I'm doing the right stuff with that. It really drove me from college actually too. So if I take another step back, it goes all to college. I actually used to weigh 220 pounds in college. And it was that what really, I feel like sparked me to go further into fitness, because I'd go play basketball for a few hours or run for a little bit. And, I'm doing plenty. I'm losing weight. But at the same time, I was not eating healthy. And that, as it showed to me, that you need both ends to have this perfect balance. So what I would eat garbage, junk food, but do the workouts. So then it really drove me once I saw the scale hit 220 and what I usually sit as like a 185, 190 weight scale. It was kind of alarming to me. So I was like, I need to do something about that. So it really continued to push me. And I said, if I'm going to help other people along with my journey, I got to make sure I'm learning the right stuff. And that's where a certification comes into play. So wow,
that's crazy. That's really cool. I'm trying to imagine a 220-pound Shawn.
Just a little thicker right here.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for sharing that. I really saw that come through when we worked together, you as my trainer, because you really tailored it to my body. And we take measurement each week. We talked about food, about eating right. So I really saw that come through and I appreciated that, right? It wasn't just the vanilla, here's what you do. It was, hey, what works for your body?
Yeah. As it should never be. It should always be a nice, customized program. But that's where I'm glad that we connected, because I was able to, you understand the why in me, and I also understand the why and what you're coming to the gym for. So
yeah, that's pretty cool. So fast forward to now, you were in Arizona for a while. You moved to Chicago.
Yep.
2 years or so ago?
2 years ago.
Thereabout. How has that been like moving again? Because you have family.
Right. Yeah. I was actually born in Wisconsin, but then I moved out to Arizona just to learn more about myself and learn more about what I'm supposed to be doing here as my mission. So when I was out there, I actually ended up losing a couple family members. So it was tough.
Hard.
And I had my passion set. I knew I was going to be training. I knew I was going to be cooking, but I wasn't able to do that and also see my family. I would have phone calls, Zoom calls, all that stuff is good, but being in contact and being in person is huge. I'm very physical. So I like to be in the same space as other people. So I moved back 2 years ago and it's been really good because I feel like I took another step forward in my journey because I was able to, again, feel comfortable knowing I have all the things around me. I have my family support. I also have extended family closer than all the way from Arizona. So
Yeah.
I have that. I have my cooking and I have my training. So I have a full package here. So it's been really awesome. So
Sweet. So
yeah.
you've said this, cooking training. Elaborate on that. I know, but I want others to learn more
Yeah,
about
for
that.
sure.
Because when I met you, when we were working together, you were talking about the cooking side of things, the meal prep, and your vision, your goal for that. And now you're actually doing it. It's been amazing
Yes.
to see. But could you elaborate how that break down with cooking and then fitness training?
Training, yeah. So what I've learned every single time I worked with someone or myself, just like back in college, you can work out for so many hours of the day and of the week and tally up your cardio and all that. But then if you're eating junk, you're never going to get where you want to be. Or vice versa. You can have a really strict diet, no sugars, low fat, low carb, whatever, but also you're not working out. So you're kind of in this middle ground. And I've realized that people need to understand both. I've really been focused in learning both ends, like learning how to cook better, learning what nutrients to put in your body, and then also with training. If someone wants to be an athlete, then you have to train them as an athlete. If someone wants to just tone up a little bit, lose a couple pounds, the program has to be completely different. So that's the beauty of learning the two different ends. I offer nutrition consultations. So I will sit down with someone and talk about what they might be lacking, what they're trying to get out of their diet, what they could clean up. And then on their training end, give them homework assignments outside of training with me. I give it homework assignments, so I feel like
Yes,
a teacher,
sir.
but it gets
Yes,
them
prof.
to do it. So it gets them to do it. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. But that brings me to another thing we wanted to really hit today. You went to Peru in the not too
it
distant
was
past.
amazing, man. Amazing trip.
Yeah, so I want you, if you could kindly elaborate on that. You came back with certain insights, lifestyle changes, etc. But what precipitated you going off to Peru?
So actually, this came from one of my clients that I trained. She was really looking to lose 40 pounds for her 40th birthday, was actually the goal set back 2 years ago. And within a few months, I would say anywhere from 6 to 8 months, we honestly accomplished that. And it was amazing.
Wow.
Like she lost before her 40th birthday. We didn't have that much time, but she knew from day one, I'm about diet and working out. So she bought into that and we worked it out and figured out the details. And she was able to lose all that weight. That started coming and we had that and we didn't want to plateau. So we wanted to find out what's our next goal, right? When you find something, you're good at it, you got to find the next goal. You got to continue to challenge yourself.
Yeah.
So for her, it was, I want to go on 3 hikes next year of 2021. So she was able to go on one. And then the second one, she said, I want to go to Peru and I want you to train me for it. And then it was training for it. And then it was a sneak attack. Oh, I'm bringing you with, you're going to come to Peru with me. I'm like,
wow,
oh,
that's
man.
amazing.
It was like overwhelming because I was like, am I supposed to be receiving this? And then when I was there, I was totally accepting of what happened while I was there.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is really cool. So while in Peru, you dug into like the cuisine, food and all of that. What was that like for you?
Oh man, it was just incredible to see. We had porters, right, that would transport our food and set up things for us. I'm walking up, hiking up a certain part of the mountain, and then all of a sudden you see the porter running past with all your food and you're out of breath and you're like, they're not even dying at all. They're going up there fine. To see them do that, go set up our tent, and then also have food ready by the time we got to a certain spot. That was incredible in itself. But then you're talking about sitting there by the campsite, cooking up something and plating it beautifully and just laying it out in a way that just like as simple as it was delicious because you knew how much energy and passion had to go into doing that while on a mountain, while carrying all this food on your back. So the cuisine was amazing. Like they changed up every single meal. I'm a vegan. They had a vegetarian and they had someone who was more pescatarian. They were able to cater to all 3 categories, which was amazing.
That is legit.
The ability to see all that, man, and just watch it from, I'm hiking, focused on what my journey is there, but also at the same time, I'm able to watch these porters and what they're doing and the chef and how he creates the dishes and all that. And I've learned that presentation over there is like their bread and butter. If presentation doesn't look good in the food, no one wants to try it. So my biggest, inflection was when I came back was presentation is key on everything from training to cooking to whatever you're doing. If you're not presenting it in a way that people will see it, like it's going to be a game changer. So that's what I brought back with my cooking business. So I was able to really focus on cooking business and making sure that if people see a meal that they're going to grab and go, it's something that looks really, really good, not something that just looks like an average healthy meal. I want it to look like if I don't get it now, it's going to be gone today.
Yeah. I love it. Even in my business, having a design agency, that's something that's huge, right? Like it's
Yeah.
all about presentation. Yeah, you really want to present that really well, such that when someone looks at it like, wow, I want that. Whether it's a website, an app,
Yeah.
any marketing collateral, it needs to make sense. It needs to be visually appealing. So totally resonate with that.
Yeah. That's cool, man.
Yeah. So another thing that got me really curious. So you brought that back, and now you have lifestyle ideas, right? That you be tweaking differently as a result of that inflection point you had in
Uh-huh,
Peru. I
uh-huh.
love that you used the word inflection.
Yeah. Hey, come
Uh,
on. I come from the best.
yes, sir. But tell me, so obviously your presentation for how you do your meal prep, your cooking business, but in terms of on a day to day, right? What does that
Yeah.
look like for you?
So again, just like how I like doing both, I don't want to dabble too much in just training or too much in cooking. I really like the happy balance. So I'm a crazy one, man. I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. My
Oh
alarm is set for
man.
4:05 in the morning. And the reason why is, to be honest, I usually train about 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So when my alarm goes off, it really just gives me that an hour to ground myself, an hour to just calm down, come to my office, focus, set my intention for the day, and then create like you said, a plan of action of like, all right, I'm going to see this person. What am I going to do with that person? Or tomorrow I'm going to be cooking, but what do I need today to do to get ready for cooking for that meal? So 4:05, the alarm goes off. I'm up probably about 10 minutes. I'm in my office and I'm just sitting here in my office, and then I'm just planning out how my day is I'm going to visualize my day basically. So I usually do that. I will go train for a few hours. I'll take care of myself. I'll get myself a workout in, have a nice protein shake afterwards. And then after that, just depends. I'm usually cooking that day or I'm going to be training that day. And then the day goes by fast because I'm living my passions to the 100%. So if I'm cooking, it's cooking all day, but then all of a sudden the day goes by fast because you're like, can I get one more thing done? No, the day's almost over already.
Yeah.
And then same thing with training. Like I look back and I trained 6 people that day. That's amazing to be able to see 6 different personality types, work with them, see them get better, train them, however you want to look at it. So
yeah, I love it. Today I had an epiphany. I posted it on LinkedIn, and I was like, feed your dreams, starve your ego. It's something I've been thinking on recently. And I'm curious, you seem like someone with low ego. You're super down to earth. Working with me, a lot of what you do, even working with customers, sometimes like just gotta let that ego die. So I'm curious, how has that played out for you? Launching, your business, working with several clients, is that something you've seen where you've literally had to kill your ego each day?
Oh, every day, man, every day. But at the same time, I think that's where the grounding myself in the morning helps me understand that that's going to happen every single day, whether you like it or not. So from launching the cooking business, creating the business plan, getting the recipes, testing it, going through that. I had so many people taste test all the recipes before I launched the menu, and too salty, too sweet, too spicy, all that stuff. I think I'm a really good cook. And the same thing with the trainer. I think I'm a really great trainer, but you always have room to improve. So you have to find where your ego sets into play, basically. So I realized that the more you're willing to let the ego go and just listen to what people have to say, but also ground yourself. Don't let people attack you and let that personal insult. It's just a way for you to get better. And ever since I've been adopting that motto, I guess, in a way, day to day, I feel like the business is going better and better. And then my training has gotten better and better because I'm watching and listening to all my clients. So I definitely a lot of times had to check my ego, but it's that hour in the morning where I ground myself. I really feel like I'm able to accept whatever the day comes.
Man, I love it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That makes me think of something like as you've been scaling the business and trying to grow, obviously it's not a bed of roses. You make it seem so easy because you're passionate about it. But tell me, what are some challenges that you've seen trying to grow this, either customer acquisition or whatever?
I would say customer acquisition is pretty huge, especially in the food industry, because any new job or any new person you meet, you really do have that first impression to make a lasting impression, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So like when you see someone or you're cooking for someone and they didn't like it from day one, they're not necessarily going to like it again. They might try it again, but then it gives you another chance to be like, okay, maybe I messed up and they didn't like it, but now I know what their taste buds are. I'm going to zone in on that for a second. So I'd say it's customer acquisition as well as retention. Retention's pretty huge to me because I do meal plans. So I don't just cook grab and go meals. I cook monthly meal plans for everybody. So they get lunches provided, dinners provided, even some breakfast included too. But they'll get meals every single week. They'll come pick it up for me. So in order to do that, retention is very important. So making sure that focus is done when we're cooking, as well as presenting, as well as packaging, as well as when they come pick it up, the food is ready. There's no questions about what's in there, the receipts on there, everything's included. So retention is huge. I think the other thing, to be honest with you, is just making sure that you find the right people to help you with your business and not, again, ego, but delegating where you can. Delegation is huge. Delegating where other people have stronger suits than you do.
It's hard, right?
My strong suits are cooking, but not necessarily social media. I have someone that helps me with social media. I have someone that helps me with packaging or just thinking about how we could take that dish and make it a little better. I have the recipes in mind, but other people come in to help. Those are the pieces that I think, I guess, would be the challenging is delegation. What do you delegate? What don't you delegate? And then also customer acquisition and retention, because you got to make sure that first impression has a lasting impression.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I just figured I'd dive into that because I was having a business too. And it's always, yes, it's exciting. I posted something about, it's a journey, right? And like any journey, any adventure, it's frustrating sometimes. It's stressful sometimes. It's fun. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's a nice whirlwind, man. So,
yeah, it's a whirlwind of emotions you experience, but then it's very well worth it as you learn to enjoy the journey. Rome wasn't built in one day, right?
And not your body or your business. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So what are some things on your radar? You are based in Chicago right now.
Yeah, I'm based in Chicago.
Do you sell nationally? If I, from Arizona, wanted to get into your meal prep stuff, like how do I work with you?
So right now, I don't necessarily go delivery outside. I just actually launched a delivery service a few weeks ago for here locally, which has been great, just to get that as another step forward. So people not only have to just go pick up from a location, they can have it delivered too. So that's kind of my first step of the stepping stones, right? So the idea is if anyone wanted to work with me on nutrition, the idea is I would do a Zoom call or I can talk over the phone, but we would just talk about a nutrition consultation. Where are you at right now? Are you struggling with breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Are you struggling with getting enough food? Are we talking about nutrient deficiencies? Like how serious is the level that we need to work on? And then from there, a plan of action can be made, whether it's this is the list of what you need to get from the store, or I will find a dietitian or a chef out there for you in Arizona that I may know or can get in contact with to say, get meals from this person. So I can try to kind of branch out and find people for you as well.
Yeah, that's interesting. That may be an opportunity for the two-sided marketplace or a database now where you can have your dietitians and other partners in other parts of the world where you don't necessarily service, but you can just refer out and get paid on that. So food for thought. But man, this is exciting. For those who are wondering, hey, how do I work with Shawn? What's the best way to get in contact with you? I'll definitely share your contacts and stuff. But what's the best way? What do you prefer?
So what I would say is I have two different emails basically. So I have my main cooking email that they can reach out to, which is going to be like essentialco, as in company.info@gmail.com. And that's for the cooking business. And then for training or just getting to reach out to me and talking about anything, to be honest, could be through Essential Academy PT@gmail.com. So Essential Academy personal trainer PT@gmail.com.
Cool. Thank you. And I'll make sure to share that after this episode as well. But it's been awesome to finally record stuff.
It's good to see you. It's good to talk to you. Things have been really good. And I think it's just because I've been able to stay in contact with you and know where you're at and all that. It's been good, man. So I appreciate everything.
It's encouraging. I always love our conversations, and we will have more of this as you continue to scale, to grow. Hopefully you open up shop in Arizona as well.
Oh man, I'm ready. I want to have a shop in Arizona so that you can try my food all the time.
Yes, sir. I'll be all over that, brother. I'll be all over that.